Anastasia, I want you back.
Been sitting eyes wide open behind these four walls, hoping you come.
I've never been happier.
I feel crazy. Up all night, and every day. What is happening to me? I don't wanna live
This time,
forever.
no rules.
'Cause I know I've been living in pain till you come back home. I just wanna keep calling your name until you come back home.
Hola! I hope you guys enjoy my intro. I had so much fun creating those. Anyways, we are going to start with moisturizer, and I'm using Ofra's Wonderlast by Kim Thai. And we're just gonna let it sit for a little bit and move on to the eyes. Start with an eyeshadow primer. This is by Urban Decay. Now today we are using tape, and we're gonna make sure that both sides are nice and even. So for our eyeshadows today, I'm using this limited edition Morphe palette, and I'm grabbing this cool tone brown right here, and I'm gonna wash that out all over my crease area as my transition shade. Next, we are grabbing this deeper shade. Again, it's a cool tone brown because I feel like I barely do any cool tone eye look, so we're gonna go grab that and deepen that outer V and crease even further. Since we are going to wear a lace mask today, I wanted to draw all the attention to the eyes, so I'm mixing these two shades right here, and I'm going to create the cat eye shadow effect on my outer V. Next, I'm grabbing the NYX eyeshadow base in nude and carve out the inner third of my lid, creating a high crease since mine is barely there. And then of course, we are going to set that with this nude eyeshadow as well, using a small eyeshadow brush, making sure not to pass the shape that I created with the NYX eyeshadow base earlier. I also grabbed these two shades right here from my Sweet Peach palette, and I popped that right into my inner tear duct. Now, to blend the two shades together, I grabbed a clean brush and the second eyeshadow that we put on the crease earlier, and pretty much go back and forth with the brushes, tap tap, blend blend, rub rub, until I'm happy with the transition of the eyeshadows. To create the porcelain skin like Anastasia, I am going to prime my face with these NYX Pore Filler, then prime and moisturize my under eye area with this Pore Hydrogel Lift. Now we're ready to correct our discolorations. So to do that, I grabbed my LA Girl Pro Concealer in Fawn, and I apply those to dark areas on my face. And of course, we are going to blend that with a beauty sponge, and the one I'm using is by Real Techniques. As for my foundation, I've been loving this foundation lately by NYX. It's the Total Control Drop in Caramel. I'm just going to literally drip it directly onto my skin and then blend it with the same beauty sponge by Real Techniques. As for my highlights / concealer, I'm using Ofra's Skin Sculpting Wand in Sunrise. It's my favorite concealer highlighter ever, and I'm already running low with this one, and it's making me sad a little bit. Anyways, I'm gonna blend that in with the Beauty Blender. As opposed to other beauty sponge, they just complement each other very well, and the result is always flawless in my honest opinion. Anywho, of course, we are going to set that concealer with our trusty Benai Banana powder, but make sure to blend it one last time with the Beauty Blender before setting it with powder. And start from the lash line where there's some fold on your skin. Trust me, it helps a lot with the cakiness. Now go ahead and brush off the excess Benai Banana powder and then set the rest of your face. Here, I'm using CoverFX mattifying powder in medium. Now to bring back the shadow on our faces, I am going to lightly contour my face with these Bella Pierre Contour Palette. Now I was debating whether or not I apply a brow product since it'll get covered by the lace later on, but I do want my brow bone area to be highlighted, so that's what I'm doing right here. I was using the same eyeshadow base in nude and the shade on my lid to set it. Once I was done, it feels like my face is not complete, so I decided to add a little bit of brow pencil on my brows to define it very so lightly. Moving on to our cat eye, I'm using these Tarte Amazonian Clay Gel Liner, and I'm gonna create a medium-sized cat eye, nothing too fancy or dramatic since I want the eyeshadows to be the focal point of the look. I also added that on my waterline to complete the eyes since I won't be doing any shadows in there. Now for my blush, I'm using Milani's Baked Blush in Berry Amore. It's pretty much the same blush I use every time. It's just the perfect shade for my skin tone, and like always, we are going to finish off the cheeks with some popping highlighter. This is the Ofra Cosmetics highlighter in Rodeo Drive. Okay, as for the lace, I cut 2 rows of designs on the fabric. By the way, I got these years ago from Joann's Fabric store. I'm not entirely sure the name of it, but I'll do my very best to find the right name online. Just make sure to check out the description box. Okay, so I cut out the design on the fabric and used a small eyebrow trimmer to trim off the excess lace just so the intricate design of the lace will show up on my face even more. Now to apply them, I usually map out the lace first before applying the glue. For the glue, I used a non-toxic Mod Podge since I don't have a transparent lash glue laying around, but if you have a lash glue that dries transparent, then you can go ahead and use them. As for the top part of my lace, again, I map out how it looks like on my face first, then trim off any excess fabric and create a shape that I want. This is definitely a trial and error, so have an extra cutout design ready just in case you made a little mistake. I also decided to lay my lace on top of my paper pad since my hands are covered in glue and it's starting to get a little messy. Now use a small or large ends of your makeup brushes to push it into your skin and lay the fabric as flat as possible. I also decided to cut out small designs and pretty much place it on the sparse areas like so. And lastly, for my lips, I'm using this beautiful liquid lipstick by CAILYN Cosmetics. This is their Pure Last Extreme Matte line and it's in the shade Expressionist. Then I top it off with these gorgeous cosmetic glitters in ruby red. So to do that, I used my NYX glitter base and worked in sections. I first start on the bottom part of my lip, apply the glue and then apply the glitter. I make sure to set the edges of my lips first before the glue dries out completely. I also used a small eyeshadow brush as opposed to a small concealer brush. I wanted the glitters to be separated and not packed. Once I'm done with the bottom, I went ahead and did the top and started from the corners of my mouth. Again, I secured the edges first, then did the rest of my lips. By the way, the lip brush I'm using to apply the glue is also by CAILYN Cosmetics. This is their 4-in-1 lip brush. Now to clean up the edges, I used a large angle brush and a little bit of my foundation. And of course, I made sure that it's nice and blended to the rest of my foundation using the Beauty Blender. Now to get rid of the fallout and bulky glitters, I use the size of the tape to get rid of them. And that concludes the video, my loves. I hope you enjoy it and I will talk to you guys on my next one. I love you.
Nous ne voulons pas haïr ni humilier personne.